I just see constant black smoke billowing from this fire. So not exactly sure we can even talk about what kind of progress they're making at this time. Desmond, are you hearing anything?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything else on this yet, Pat and Rick, but I just can't emphasize. I mean, I remember the last time we had that Torrance refinery, and, gas prices shot up instantly overnight. I don't want to, panic anybody, but when we're talking about, we know how thin our supply lines run in Southern California with the refineries, and this is a time of year when gas prices generally begin to sink down. Approaching the holiday season is generally the lowest of the year, but if I remember that refinery fire, we were talking about, prices going up 50 cents to $1 in just about a week's time. So that's I mean, beyond obviously this catastrophic and very hard to fight fire, that's going to be the really the big concern for all of us in Southern California.
Well, no doubt they're going to do their best to try to prevent that fire from hitting any of those tanks that are there. There are 150 storage tanks there that hold gas and oil as well as liquid propane, so fuel all over the place. Now we see another hose there at the bottom left part of your screen coming in to help out as well. And the only way you can get the fuel the fire to kind of get knocked down is if they can figure out a way to shut down those pipes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way they're going to be able to get this down. I mean, most of this water is probably evaporating by the time it hits these flames. We were talking about thousands of degrees of fire, and there were actually what looked like when we were on the way over here. We were over on the 110 freeway and could easily see it from there, and I thought I saw some things beginning to explode as well. So the only thing I'm just really glad at the very least that just try to put some kind of positive spin that we were thinking that we were going to have some strong Santa Ana winds this week, and at least that never really materialized. But look at you're watching so much water, probably hundreds and hundreds of gallons a second going over this fire, and it's just instantly evaporating. They now have two huge lines of water going on this thing, and this is not slowing down at all.
Well, you know what, we understand, Desmond, that this was caused by an explosion. At least initial reports are stating that was the cause of the fire there. And we also understand that 20% of all gasoline fuel that we use in Southern California comes from this particular refinery, if I'm not correct.
Might want to go fill your gas tank up now once you guys are done at 11:30, Pat and Rick.
Well, we could see from our angle, we certainly see more water being poured on this fire. From the left-hand side of your screen, you see that it's almost like it's a hydrant shooting upwards, trying to get some water on this. It almost looks like they're making some progress.
Yeah, just within our last little back and forth there in the last 20 seconds, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. Now it's kind of flaring back. I mean, wow, look at that. I don't think I've ever, we've seen some of these really crazy recycling plant fires that have burned for 72 hours. There was one in Ontario. I remember that was an incredibly intense fire, but just sheer intensity. This is probably the craziest, most intense fire I've ever seen.
Well, keep in mind, again, if you still have fuel going through those lines, no matter how much water you put on it, while it might prevent it from spreading, it's not going to put it out. I mean, they got to somehow figure out a way to stop. Then I'm sure there's a protocol in place for this, and it probably takes time to shut down those lines.
Yeah, I mean, these refineries are huge. They're very complicated with these maze of pipes. It's probably going to take multiple people at multiple locations across this sprawling facility to be able to turn off. If it's refined gasoline, if it's oil, whatever it is, it's incredibly flammable. And you're right, it is going to take them some time to turn it off. So at best, until they can do that, all they can do is just try to prevent it from spreading.
Well, you know what, Garth Kemp just gave me some information here about the temperature in El Segundo right now. 70 degrees, winds west at 6 miles per hour. The humidity is 67%. So I guess it's good that the humidity is as high as it is, and the winds aren't very high, but still at 6 miles per hour with flames like this. Not exactly sure how fast that can spread, but it looks like, again, that they seem to have this contained to this one particular area, which which certainly is good news at this hour.
Yeah, that's about as good as we can hope for, at this moment.
And I'd mentioned that we have gas at this refinery, liquid propane, oil, and also jet fuel, which it's jet fuel that winds up going to LAX.
Wow. So this could end up having a very, very far-reaching impact. I mean, I would have to imagine, just if I recall, the Torrance refinery was, you know, out of commission for a long, long time, even though it was just that one section of the refinery that went up in flames, kind of similar to this. So, you know, they may have to shut down this. You know, I'm certainly not a refinery expert, but they may have to, you know, completely cease operations for a time. And you're talking about 1/5 of our gasoline supply. If that has to grind to a halt, then this is really going to, like I said, have possibly a massive spike on our gas prices.
Can you tell what else is going on in the vicinity when you're talking about people trying to shut down the plant or shut down parts of the plant anyway?